Good morning, second grade, and welcome to language class again. So we're ready for section 2 now, and lesson 6. We have some more about compound sentences today. Let's first of all do a review first before we go into today's lesson. They want me to go over with you with the capitalization chart again, so you can take a look at the capitalization chart. So we capitalize the first word of a sentence. So always when you write a sentence, the first word of a sentence gets capitalized. Number 2, capitalize names of people and pets. So like whenever you're writing about people or pets, you always capitalize it. Capitalize important words and titles. So always the first and last word get capitalized in a title, and also the important words in between, like the big words, they usually get capitalized for sure. Number 4, capitalize the word I. Number 5, capitalize names for God. Number 6, capitalize naming nouns. Number 7, capitalize the name of a city and state or a city and province. Number 8, capitalize each word in an address. Number 9, capitalize abbreviations of states and provinces. Number 10, capitalize months of the year. 11, capitalize days of the week and abbreviations for days of the week. So the days of the week are Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Saturday. And also they have abbreviations, like they're shortened with abbreviations, and you always capitalize them. Okay, number 12, capitalize abbreviations for names of months. 13, capitalize titles of respect, like Mr. and Mrs. and Doctor. Number 14, capitalize abbreviations for titles of respect. Number 15, capitalize initials. Number 16, capitalize titles of stories. Number 17, capitalize the greeting, closing, and signature in a friendly letter. Number 18, capitalize names of holidays, like all the holidays like Easter and Palm Sunday and Christmas and Thanksgiving and Mother's Day. All those letters that start the words will get capitalized. Okay, and then we have capitalized names of countries. The last one is capitalized names of countries. So countries, let's talk a little bit about countries. Do you still remember the countries lesson? So the country we live in is United States, right? So you would capitalize the U in United and the S in States. And then there's other countries like Canada and Mexico and England and India and just a whole bunch of different countries that are in the world. Did you ever hear of Spain? Spain is also a country. It's where the Spanish people came from. And yes, so Spain would be a country as well. You also have France and Germany. There's a lot of different countries. And they all, when you write them, they all get started with a capital letter usually. All right, let's think about quotations again. So do you remember what a quotation is? A quotation is a sentence that has exact words in that. A quotation is a sentence, okay? And in the sentence, the exact words that the person was saying, that is called the quotation. And whenever there is exact words, we need to put quotation marks right around everything that the person said. Like it curls around what a person says, quotation marks do. Okay, what is an author? An author is a person who wrote a book. So I'll give you a few demonstrations here. We have this book here, and it's called Ancasto, and the author would be Kenneth Thomasma, and then the illustrator is Jack Brower. So an illustrator is simply a person that draws the pictures in the book. And so that is an author, is the person who wrote the book, and his name or her name is usually on the outside of the book somewhere. It kind of depends where you look on in the book. Some books have them on the front cover, like this book has it on the front cover. And then this book is another example. This one, I didn't see the author's name in the front, but sometimes if you look on the side here, sometimes there is the name of an author. Okay, so let's look at the board. We have some abbreviations here on the board to some words, and I'm going to spell the abbreviations. So we have September. The abbreviation for September is, of course, a capital S, and then E and P and T, and then you don't forget your period after abbreviations. Abbreviations get periods. May, is there an abbreviation for May? May is, do you still remember that some of the months, a few of the months of the year do not get an abbreviation because they are short enough. So May is a month of the year, and it is short enough that you do not need an abbreviation. Then we have Tuesday. So Tuesday, it gets a capital T and U and E and S and period. Thursday is capital T, H-U-R, and S period. Mr. is capital M-R period. Mistress is the same as Mrs., so it goes capital M-R-S period. And then we have doctor, so doctor is D-R, capital D-R, and period. Okay, let's think a little bit about this sentence here, lion roared. So we want to add describing words to that sentence and also tell when or where the lion roared. So we could say like this, the huge angry lion, right? Because lions get mad they can get mad. So the huge angry lion. And then we could write roared after that. And then we're going to tell, let's think about something that when he roared or where he roared. So we'll just write roared here. And then, well, maybe we could say when he saw the man with a gun. That might make him mad. Okay, so you can also say where he roared. You could say he roared in the African plains. You could say he roared at the zoo. There's just a lot of different things that you could say where he roared or when he roared. Maybe he roared because he was hungry, because sometimes they roar when they're hungry. So yeah, there's just a lot of different things that you could think about when you're writing sentences, and it makes it a lot more interesting for people to read. Okay, so let's go into today's lesson now. You may open your books if you have not yet. You may open them to lesson 6, and we will read the teaching box there on top of page 18. So you can follow along with me as I read there. So we have more about compound sentences today. Compound sentences, if you remember compound sentences, they are two sentences joined together with a small word like and, but, or in between the two sentences. Well, today we have some more about that. Let's read in the teaching box now. It says more about compound sentences. Some sentences that have or, but, or and are not compound sentences. Remember that a compound sentence can always be divided into two sentences. So we have examples there. We have two sentences. Mike went fishing, period, and Tom played ball, period. So those are two sentences. You have a noun and a verb in every sentence. A sentence needs a noun and a verb. Now, nouns name people, places, and things, and verbs show action. So you always need a noun and a verb to make a complete sentence. Let's look at the next example now. It says compound sentence, Mike went fishing, comma, and Tom played ball. Okay, so there's an example of a compound sentence. They joined those two sentences together to make one. They put a comma and a little word in, and they joined those two sentences together. And then you have an example of not a compound sentence, and it says, Mike and Tom went fishing. So this is not a compound sentence because it does not have two verbs in. It has two nouns, which would be Mike and Tom, but it does not tell what Mike did after Mike. So you will not call that a compound sentence, even if it has the word and in, because a compound sentence needs to have one sentence over here and then one complete sentence over here. They both need to be complete. Mike is not a complete sentence by itself, just Mike. Okay, so let's look here on the board now, and we're going to decide which ones are compound sentences and which ones are not. So we'll just read them here. The first one says, Peter and John were Jesus' friends. So if you look at the part before and, which is only Peter, right? So is Peter a sentence by itself? Peter cannot be a sentence by itself. It needs a verb. So Peter and John were Jesus' friends is not a compound sentence. The next one says, James was a fisherman, but Matthew was a tax collector. So here's our little word, and here we have a sentence, James was a fisherman. Is that a good sentence? I would say it is. And then you have Matthew was a tax collector. I would say that's a good sentence too. So this one is a compound sentence. Okay, let's look at the next example right here. Adam and Eve lived in the Garden of Eden. Well, we don't have any word, we don't have any and, but, or word in there. So this one might be a little easier to tell, but Adam, actually, yes, we do have and in here. We have and in here, but if we look at this part here, Adam, is Adam okay by itself? No, Adam is not a sentence by itself, so this is not a compound sentence. Let's look at this example. Are peas or beans your favorite vegetable? Here is the word or, and you have are peas before or. Now, are peas, is that a complete sentence? Not really. It has a noun and a verb in it, but they are not in the right order. Like, just if you would have are peas by itself, that is not a sentence by itself in that order. So that would not be a compound sentence. And then we have this one, Sarah talked loudly and the baby cried. So you have your word and here, and you have this before and, Sarah talked loudly. So Sarah talked loudly, would that be a sentence by itself? It seems to me it would be, because you have Sarah as your noun and talked as your verb. So that would be a sentence. So this one is a compound sentence. Okay, so now let's think about creative writing. You can turn to page, let's see, where am I here? Turn to page 19, and we have creative writing. So today you will finish reading your book report. So if you have not finished reading your book yet, then you can finish that today. And make sure you try to get the whole book read today. And then in part D, you will write about your favorite part of the book today. So today you're going to get to write something that you really liked about the book. And, well, try to think carefully. Maybe you should go try to find a quiet place, because this is kind of going to make you think. So it'd probably be good if you'd get a quiet place and you'd sit down and think very carefully about how you're going to write this, and try to find something that you really liked about the book, and something like maybe you thought was just really interesting. And it doesn't have to be really exotic. Just try to think of something that you really liked about the book. Maybe it was someone that was really kind, or maybe something was discovered just in time, or maybe a mystery was solved, or maybe it was something sad or that happened, or like a really happy incident that happened that you really enjoyed reading about. So you have about 3 lines to write today, 3 lines to write there in Part D. So try to fill up all 3 lines there in Part D. It can be several sentences. Try to fill that whole part up because, yeah, it's with something that you really enjoyed about the story. And then we're going to use it in our book report then. I think tomorrow you're going to be giving a book report. So let's now go to penmanship. We have the cursive, V, U, and W. You've learned those already before. So we will, let's see. I think today I'm just going to let you look back in your strips or in the back of your books and try to write them exactly like they show you there today. So yeah, look back. If you're not sure how they go, look back. And then you can go ahead with the sentence, Vicky Zook visited Uncle William and Aunt Lena. That's your sentence for today. Again, try to do a really nice job. Try to sit in a good place so that you can write nice, and don't hold your pencils too tight. And also try to not lift your pencil when you're in the middle of a word. Try not to lift your pencil, but just let it slide along, and just gradually slide along, and just keep your hand relaxed as you write. Let's go into spelling now. So we have new words today, and today I'm going to show them to you here on these cards. We didn't look at these cards for a while, and these were so interesting to look at usually, so I decided, well, I think today we're just going to look at these cards. So we have the letter 8th, as in the sentence, the 8th post is the biggest one. 8th. Then we have the word great. The blue whale grows to a great size. It is the largest known animal in the world. Great. And then we have head. Ned said his head hurt. Head. Neigh. Have you ever heard a horse say neigh? Neigh. Obey. Baby ducklings learn to obey their mother, just as you need to obey your mother. Obey. And then we have prey. The rabbit is a prey that the eagle catches for food. Prey. They, the horses thought they could run away. They. Weigh. Do you think the boy will weigh as much as he did last week? Weigh. Ceiling. A ceiling fan helps to cool a room. Ceiling. Police. Police have the important job of keeping law and order. Police. Piece. A piece of cherry pie would taste good right now. Piece. Monkey. The monkey is getting ready to swing by its tail. Monkey. Key. This key is the kind used to unlock a house door. Key. Field. The seed sown in the field has sprouted and turned green. Field. And then we have eye. Do you like to have this big eye looking at you? Eye. Okay, so let's look now in that teaching box there. You may turn to page 21 if you're not there already. And we're going to read that teaching box there underneath the spelling words. So we have, it says, the A sound can be spelled many ways. And you have 3 examples there. A can be spelled with A in the middle and E at the end, as in made. And then we have sail. So you can have AI in the middle of the word and it says A. And then we have may, which AY at the end of words can say the A sound also. And then it also says the letters EA and EIGH or EY make the A sound too. Like break is EA in the middle of the word, and the word eight, EIGH says the A sound, and they, EY says the A sound in they. Okay, so that's for the spelling words. You may also do part L where it says to write section 2 spelling words on other paper. It would be good if you keep on writing your spelling words, and yeah, it will make you smarter for next year. Okay, I'm going to let you work now, and you have a good day.